Tonight on Fox 8.
We tested shrimp, oysters, crab. We found the polynuclear aromatic hydrocarbons in these tissue samples.
You're exposed to more hydrocarbons filling up your car.
The seafood industry fires back after a chemist and microbiologist says she's found traces of oil in seafood from the Gulf. They're the last family living in the VA footprint. You may wonder why they're fighting a move that is inevitable.
They told me that they followed the law, but I question whether they followed the spirit of the law.
More on this family's battle for what they feel is a fair deal.
We had a brief warm up today, but the cold's coming back. I'll give you details on just when it'll get here coming up.
And it was 1 year ago. Whodats on pins and needles as the team played in their first Super Bowl. Tonight, fans look back now that there's a new world champion. Fox 8 News starts right now.
From WVUE TV New Orleans, this is Fox 8 News.
Days before a delegation of seafood industry reps from Louisiana head to D.C., there is outrage that a microbiologist may be pushing the panic button on a study she conducted after the BP oil spill. Allison Braxton has the story.
How much is these?
No, them are $3.50 bottom.
$3.50.
At Ruth Ann and Rob's Seafood, the shrimp are plentiful.
Better than any other seafood. Can't beat it.
This week, Yul Smith with the Louisiana Seafood Promotion and Marketing Board is headed to Washington, D.C. to meet with congressional leaders.
70% of the nation is still a little concerned about eating seafood.
It's on the beaches.
Smith is worried. A new study out by chemist and microbiologist WIlma Subra on the dispersants used to break up the oil could further harm Louisiana's seafood industry.
We tested shrimp, oysters, crab, and finfish from areas all the way from a Atchafalaya Basin all the way to the Mississippi-Louisiana line, and we found the polynuclear aromatic hydrocarbons in these tissue samples.
I've been here 3 days and I have got no results.
A fisherman who came in close contact with Gulf waters impacted by the BP oil spill is worried that he's become sick. James Miller worked 68 days cleaning up the spill.
I mean, we have been poisoned by the toxins, what that dispersants they let loose in our Gulf of Mexico.
Supra is studying his illness and dozens of others. She's also taking samples of blue crabs, mussels, finfish, shrimp, and oysters from the Gulf.
In the oysters we collected and analyzed, there was up to 8,000 to 12,000 milligrams per kilogram, part per million, oil range organics. And again, these were not visibly oiled oysters. Had the alkylated PAHs, fluoranthrene, naphthalene, and the others you see here, known and suspected to cause cancer.
I think we need to see the data that she's presenting and to see how she's interpreting that data.
Bottom line is, it doesn't matter. There's nothing to hide there. And
Randy Pacina, the Assistant Secretary of Fisheries for the Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries, says there have been more than 300,000 tests from the state, national, and independent organizations on marine life since the oil spill started.
the levels that we're seeing are below base levels, meaning that all seafood has some levels of hydrocarbons in Louisiana due to natural seeps or all the oil and gas production that's been going on here for years and years and years. The levels we're seeing now are even below those base levels. So you're going to find hydrocarbons. That's not uncommon. You're exposed to more hydrocarbons filling up your car with gas. Louisiana seafood, I could venture to say, is the most tested seafood, definitely in the nation, probably in the world, as of a result of this spill.
I wouldn't eat anything out the Gulf right now.
Boy, I've been eating throughout the whole spill and all that, and I'm still here. I'm still standing.
A message the Louisiana seafood industry is taking to Washington, D.C. Allison Braxton, Fox 8 News.